Oh, the Chiefs aren't going down without a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about that. Good morning, ACU crew at Chiefs Kingdom. How we feeling on a nice little victory Monday, baby? It's been a few weeks since we could say that, but I love it. It feels good. You guys get in the comments. Let us know how you're feeling this morning. Also, hit that like button. Share this out with a friend. Let's get as many people in here as we can this morning and have a little fun. But first, let's take a second to talk about DraftKings sponsoring this live stream.
Thanksgiving is finally here. It's time for good food, good friends, family, and football. And in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, we have some amazing news. The countdown is on, Missouri. The big play is coming. Be amongst the first to get in on the action when DraftKings Sportsbook officially goes live. So what's your favorite part of Thanksgiving? The turkey? The sides? Or maybe it's the news that now you can take part in same-game parlays, props, and even daily fantasy. We think Showtime will be dropping dimes and indulging in turkey legs when it's all said and done. So bring on all the props. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live using our promo code ACU. With DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Yeah, buddy, Mike. We put up a post and asked for everybody's questions, comments, and concerns about the Chiefs going forward, baby. Let's talk about a few of those.
Steve, there was a lot of questions, comments, and concerns, but I'm going to tell you what all the comments and concerns just about centered around. And that was Patrick Mahomes, maybe the greatest quarterback of all time.
The greatest.
We actually had some people yesterday on our X feed trying to say it's time to compare him to, I don't even want to talk about it, Rich Gannon and Steve Bono.
Yeah. I think it's time to compare those people to Slapnuts and smack them in the head.
How do you do this?
Come on.
Let's get into the first couple. Well, first and foremost, let's talk about the big elephant in the running back room. We signed our boy Dameon Pierce, and look, me and Steve's been talking about this.
Who is that?
For weeks and weeks, we said this was a thing. We even talked about this being a trade target. Jordan Schultz reported this last night. So look, a lot of people excited over this one. Steve, I think Dameon Pierce is a very good addition to this running back room, especially if Andy Reid wants to start actually toting the pigskin like he needs to be doing. Because Kareem Hunt can't continue doing 30 carries per game by himself. Now, look, I know Pacheco's going to come back. I wouldn't think Pacheco's going to come back off a knee injury and just come in and start taking 15, 25 carries. I see him being limited somewhere between like the 8 to 12 mark, somewhere in that range.
Right.
So Pacheco feasibly, or Kareem Hunt feasibly could get 15 and be fine week in and week out. But I think you want a guy like Dameon Pierce, who is just a couple seasons away from having, some really good footage out there. I mean, he was doing well last year as well. So a lot of people put in a claim for him. I think it's a good sign by Brett Veach.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you have to think about Kareem Hunt, man. He went nuts yesterday. We all saw it. And it's exactly what we freaking needed. But at the same time, I think we all saw that if you do that to Kareem Hunt every game for the rest of the season, you're going to have a pile of mush come the playoffs if you make it, right?
He's going to be walking around in a full body cast in a wheelchair.
Right. Just exactly. You called him Slimer last night.
Yeah, poor Slime.
That cracked me up. But no, man, Dameon Pierce, you have to look back at his rookie season to really see the peak Dameon Pierce, which is weird because it kind of came off of him. Around the time they got CJ Stroud, they kind of changed the offense up and wasn't giving him the rock and stuff like that. But if you look back at his rookie season in 2022, he only played in 13 games. Okay, in 13 games he had damn near 1,000 yards rushing. He had 4 touchdowns. He's not the biggest receiving back though, So this is not a guy that you want to put out there and throw the football to or anything like that. He's mainly a guy like you said. Line up under center, hand this kid the ball, and he can make some things happen. He's really fast. He's really tough. A hard-nosed running back, man. I remember him all the way back in Florida, I believe it was, where he ran the same way. So, I mean, I like the addition. I think it's exactly what they needed. We talked about that last night after the game before they signed him. We're talking about how that's the first step the Chiefs should take after an important win like that to continue going in the right direction.
Yeah, we also said that you're going to have to maybe get under center a little bit. Now, look, I found a lot of good plays with him in the shotgun, running the delayed handoff that looks a lot like, outside zones and things like that coming from the shotgun that Andy likes to run. I've found clips where he's actually been productive on those, but he's mainly a weapon under center. And look, the Chiefs said they were going to do more under center yesterday, and I'll give it to Andy. Andy actually ran the ball more, and he actually played more under center. They had 18 snaps from under center. Only 2 of those were passes, so they took 16 runs from under center for about 49 yards or so. I'll say this. Price Carter, our boy, he tweeted out and said that Andy Reid running the ball and committing to the run game yesterday was proof that internet bullying does work.
Yeah, obviously.
I thought that was hilarious because he's right. Like all week long, everybody has tried to bully Andy into running the football. And he finally just said, you know what? Bully me some more. I'm going to run the ball 57 times or whatever it was.
Right. Yeah, dude. I think it was obvious just watching the game. It passed the eye test. I kept seeing Patrick Mahomes under center. I kept seeing them hand the ball off to Kareem Hunt and just basically even when it wasn't successful, when they would have a play that only went a yard or not even that,
right,
they still went back to it. And that was the beauty of it because usually Andy, even if he attempts to have a running game, the moment that it doesn't get 7 yards in a carry, he goes strictly away from it and never goes back.
Right.
So.
And where it was successful, though, where the Andy continuing to pound the rock, was once Trey Smith got hurt. Yes, it hurt the running game. Kareem Hunt didn't do as well once Trey Smith left the field and Caliendo got in there. We seen Caliendo get blew up a few times, big time, and getting Kareem hit in the backfield. Right. Usually Andy gets away from it right then and there. That would have been a perfect opportunity for Andy to come out and be like, look, I'm abandoning it. We got to go to the pass. But what happened is he stuck with it, and then at the very end of the game, guess what? The passing lanes opened up, and Mahomes threw for a season high, and it developed this thing to where the offense could now move the ball through the air because of what you put in work-wise on the run game.
Absolutely, man. Mike, I want to get to the chat for a quick second. Then I want to just talk about some headlines in the NFL, and then we're going to get to those questions, comments, and concerns and start talking about that. But real quick, I want to shout out Terry, a member to the channel. We appreciate you, Terry. You're freaking awesome. Also, we got Alexis in the house with the 5 bombs. Says, good morning, fellas. I'll be at the Thanksgiving game Thursday. I'm so excited.
Ooh,
that's awesome.
Nice.
There's a few people I've seen talking about how they're going to be at that game. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully it's an awesome one for you. I think it'd be cool to be in Dallas and watch the game on
Alexis,
Thanksgiving for real.
Bring a helmet. We may need you out there to guard CeeDee Lamb. You may need some help.
We might need her at
we might get you
right
out there.
guard, if Trey Smith
Yeah, you might be
back.
called, never be too prepared.
Yeah,
we're going
to get you blocking out there. Hannah with the 5 bomb says, beat reporter said that the Broncos made a strong push to sign Pierce, but he wanted to go to the Chiefs. Tells you what other teams think of his skills. The Eagles, Mike, you had a tweet about that. They also were after him.
Yeah, he come out and said that the Chiefs, he signed to the Chiefs practice squad, but he had offers from the Chargers, Broncos, Bears, Eagles, Colts, and Bengals. And the Dolphins. And then listen to this one. The Eagles. Howie Roseman made a strong push for him, including a personal call over the weekend. Per source, previously made trade inquiry to Houston, but no deal ever got worked out. So the Eagles have been on this guy forever. Steve, with that many teams coming after Dameon Pierce, I think that's a strong indication that we didn't just see some guy over on Houston's team that was getting underutilized that we thought maybe somebody could go poach, but a lot of NFL franchises seen some potential there.
Absolutely, dude. I think it was a pretty obvious one. Someone like Pierce that has his skill set and actually was able to put that on display in his first couple of years in the league. Like I said, you kind of saw their offense get away from him, and for whatever reason. I mean, I think they had a moment where they went and signed Devin Singletary and some random people and just started using them. I think that was a very bad move by the Texans. I think a lot of people know what this kid can do.
Did they trade?
Absolutely, other teams that wanted him.
I don't know if it was a trade, but remember they did grab Joe Mixon as well. Was that during the Dameon Pierce era? I believe it was.
Yeah, that was just like 2 years
ago. They just
ago.
kept going and going and going. And I mean, I guess you could make the argument that's an upgrade. But I mean, come on, Dameon Pierce wasn't chopped the liver.
I
over
think you're
there.
actually right. I think that's probably the one that where they got away from is when they got Joe Mixon. They thought that was like an upgrade there, right? Which it could be. And I mean, if that's what they thought. I want to shout out Smoke Fire. Says, yo, finally caught y'all on live. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
I also saw another one, and I cannot find it to bring it up. Oh, there it is. Jason says, my first live, but been watching for 2 years.
Jason,
let's freaking go.
Hey, you're going to love the lives. The lives, we get a little interactive here. Let the people talk, rage, whatever y'all want to do.
We'll let
Just
y'all
have a good
drive
time
this
with it.
baby sometimes, man. That's what we do. But, Mike, let's go ahead and get to some of those questions and comments and stuff that we had last night on our post after the game. How about it?
Yep, let's go first. You're going to see a big theme in these. Our boy Zach says, what do you all think we will do with Dameon Pierce? Will he actually see the field, or is it one of those signings like a Joshua Uche? Also, how do we feel after Dallas just pulled out a crazy comeback? So we're going to talk about Dallas a little bit. There's a few of these comments that have Dallas into it, and this is a short week, so we're going to get right into like talking about Dallas today, more than likely. But let's talk about the game and what you said here about Dameon Pierce, Steve. I alluded to it earlier. There's a lot of guys coming after Dameon Pierce. Now, he's initially going to go to the practice squad. Brett Veach has probably got to figure out how to bring him up to the 53-man at some point.
Elijah Mitchell, bye.
Yeah, but it's not going to be this week. It's a short week. You're not going to see him on the field with the Chiefs
No,
this
I
week.
highly
There's
doubt
no
it.
way.
I'd be
I think what they're
surprised.
going to do is they're going to use Clyde Edwards-Helaire's third call-up this week if Pacheco can't give it a go. Or maybe even if Pacheco gives it a go, they could give him his third call-up. And then you'll see him start to get in maybe a week or two from here. And I think that they're going to be able to use him, Steve. I don't know why you would sign him and use him. Now, look, they mentioned Joshua Uche, but there's several there. And you can even go to all the draft capital and different things they give up for other players, kind of like a D-Hop, and then they'll just use them for a little bit, and then they'll just go into oblivion somewhere. So
Yeah, I can name
I
a few
understand
others.
the fear of that.
I can name a few others and a few others that were running backs. Le'Veon Bell, they went and got him late in his career, hardly used him.
Right, Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones, they also had LaShawn McCoy at the end of his career, and they used him a little bit more than the other two, but I think that was because of his prior relationship with Andy,
Right.
probably. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that's the case, though. I feel like those guys, they were already late in their careers, and they get used a lot. I think Dameon Pierce has an opportunity in Kansas City, a huge one. Now, I tell you how it works with Andy. He's going to give you this much. He's going to give you this much, and you better do something with it.
Yeah, you
and
better
then you can
steal
build
this
from
much.
there, right? Because if you
Yeah.
get out on the field and you get your 2 carries and you get negative 2 yards, or you fumble the football, or you miss a protection,
Man,
then
I'm
guess
gonna
what?
tell
You're not
you.
getting back in there, dude. It's a tight leash with
Well,
Andy.
the fact that you went out and signed Elijah Mitchell in the offseason, he didn't got a carry.
Right. That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
dude,
They don't
it's-
like something that he's doing. That's all there is
Right.
to it.
Do you think it's maybe something to do with like a film, grasping the playbook? Is it pass pro? Is it
It's something
effort?
like that. If I had to
knows?
guess, the biggest thing that they really judge these guys on is the pass protection. I mean, you do have, a $500 million quarterback back there.
Yeah.
So I think they want to make sure these guys know the protections. I think they want to know that these guys can pick up a blitz when Patrick Mahomes is getting ready to have his head knocked off. You saw Carson still fell at that miserably, and we haven't seen him since.
I think the overall thing here, though, with Dameon Pierce is, Steve, he may get a shot. I don't know when it's going to come. It could be sooner than later. Just kind of depends on how Pacheco's doing, how Hunt holds up. I think he'll get a small shot. And like you said, he needs to do something with it. But if he could produce, you could see him sign here next year and maybe take a lot more carries because Kareem's probably not going to be back. He's a little older. I don't know if he'll come back.
I think they'll
And
keep
then-
him around as long as they can. Really,
I
mean,
don't know if Pop resigns long term though after this year. He's got a shot to stay here for a few years if he can come in and produce.
Yeah, absolutely. That could be what they do going forward as opposed to Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, I know a lot of people might not be happy about that.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
Pacheco's
What if
coming
you
up
see
on
like
his-
a Pierce, Brashard Smith kind of backfield next year?
Absolutely, you could.
It's a
And then I
possibility.
still think that you could see Kareem with the Chiefs for, I don't want to say the remainder of his career because I have no idea how long the guy wants to play, but I think we could see him for the next few years on 1-year contracts or whatever, being our short yardage back, getting the job done. Mike, before we get to the rest, let's get to the chat real quick. We got Chiefs 007 with the 5, says Locked On Chiefs claims they've been preaching run the ball, and I've legit never heard them say it until like a week ago. Yeah, it's funny
That's
how
a lot.
all of a
That's
sudden,
a lot. Yeah.
yeah, you'll see that all of a sudden. You know,
Look, we've been preaching it for years. We provided the proof. We've got it from going all the way back to 2022, saying that Andy needed to rely on the run a little bit more.
Mikey made a whole damn video about how if they just run the ball 20 times
Right.
the running backs, that the percentage of the win goes up tremendously, right? That was our whole thing. We've been saying it, and now a lot of people are
Now, I
going
will
to say
say
that.
after, was it last week? It was either after the Bills game or it was after last week's game, not the Colts, but the one before. Now, I did see Matt Derrick on one of those saying we have to start talking about why the Chiefs aren't committing to the run, and we're like, you're just now talking about that.
I think that was kind of our sentiment from that, is like, why is this all of a sudden a talking point when this has been the
Yeah,
freaking talking point for years now? But yeah, whatever. Appreciate the 5, buddy. Then we got Melinda, our girl here, with the 5 bomb. Says, I think Pierce takes the field for Remigio after Dallas since he hasn't done great this year. Man, that's a huge possibility. Mike, you were talking about last night. Remigio has to do something because he's just taking up a roster spot at this point. You got Tyquan Thornton that can return kicks. You got Brashard Smith that can return kicks. I don't know if Dameon Pierce has ever returned kicks. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that Nico has really done enough to hold on to a roster spot at this point. Now, is it his fault? Probably not. I think he's a good return man. But I think our special teams coach has dropped the ball for the last couple of years, and our special teams in general just doesn't look very good. So, I mean, there's problems somewhere, and I think Nico's kind of catching the back end of that, but it is what it is. Mike, we also got Perry with the 5 bomb that says Rappaport said Smith has both high and low ankle sprains and that he'll miss some time. So
Trey,
yeah,
I don't think Trey is going to play this week. It looks like it's going to be a Caliendo type week.
boy, he's got to step it up a notch, right?
He does. Dallas just went out and traded for Quinnen Williams. They've got some big defensive tackles on the interior there. I don't think they got rid of Mozzie Smith. I don't know if he's still playing a lot. That's kind of been a
their defensive line has been kind of like a weird question mark for them since they traded away Micah Parsons, right?
and not to
And then
mention,
well, you saw at the beginning of the year, Marshawn
yeah.
Nealon was playing very well.
Right.
They also had James Houston, I think is his name, something like that. But those young guys were playing well. Of course, the tragedy with Marshawn Nealon, which is awful. But yeah, like you said, they went out and they've added some pieces too. So, I mean, they're not as bad as people think they are. However, their defense is not great. I will give you that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to beat Dallas, you got to put some points on the board too, because their offense can score.
Yeah, we're going to get into more Dallas stuff in just a little bit. But yeah, Perry,
Absolutely.
appreciate the 5 bomb, man. And yeah, look, Trey needs to get it right. We can't make a push. You can't make a huge postseason push or a play in the postseason if he's running around with bum ankles. So we've got to get this taken care of now.
Absolutely.
And Andy trusts Caliendo. He's trusted him for years now. So
he said he's a starter in the NFL. Andy, out of his own mouth, said Caliendo is a starter in the NFL.
Well, we seen yesterday.
He got thrown around like a rag doll yesterday, ladies and gentlemen.
He started 12 yards in the backfield.
You know what's funny
after
is
he got
like
thrown.
Caliendo had been getting hate from Chiefs Kingdom even last season. And, you know, there were games where he struggled a bit, but I didn't see him ever get completely dominated as bad as I did yesterday. I thought yesterday might be his worst performance.
Yeah, there was a few plays where he was just on his ass, 8 yards deep. So
let's hope he can get that straight. And also, is that where Andy Heck and Andy Reid have to start thinking about, hey, we have Jalen Moore over here. He could probably play guard.
Jalen Moore could probably play right guard. And I'm going to tell you, I mean, I think Wanye's been injured too, but I think Wanye Morris could play guard. I think he can play guard better than he can play tackle. He's built more like a guard.
You still got other guys. I think they called C.J. Hansen up a couple weeks ago.
C.J. Hansen could play. I think you could play
Norzad.
Yeah, Hunter Norzak could play a guard. So I think we're decent here. The Chiefs got to be real, but they trust Caliendo. He's going to get the first crack at it.
He's also been there, done that a lot, and I think they value that in Chiefs.
Would have been a good time to have kept our boy
Darian
Kennard around, wouldn't it?
Killing it with the Packers, bro. It's crazy. Okay. Mike, we got Hannah with the 10, says Remigio is number 26 in yards per punt return, which is sad. Why can't we put Royals? That'd be great. I would love to see him get on the football field, actually put some pads on. Brashard or even Thornton, all options. Chiefs running back room have one player under contract after this year. Prove yourself, and Pierce might get an extension. Absolutely. That's exactly where we're at with it, Hannah. I think that he has a really good opportunity here. And like I said, Andy's going to give him a tight window to show it. But if he does, or if even in practice, like behind the scenes, shows some promise, I think we'll see him get some playing time.
Right. A lot of people's on this Remigio thing.
Remigio.
Dude, I'm going to say this. Dave Tobe's entire special teams unit has been like beyond shaky this season.
Absolutely, bro.
So they've got
Your
to figure
bright
it
spot's
out.
been the kickers, right?
But
That's
I'm
it.
going to tell you, I don't look for Dave Tobe to come off of Remigio anytime soon.
I'll tell you what,
you've seen how he treated the Sky Moore situation.
Dave Tobe keeps it up, and I could see Clark Hunt coming off of him. So
Yeah,
we'll see about that. We'll see about
MVP
that.
Julian with a 10. He says, so happy the Chiefs won. But the thing that still is struggling is the offense not being able to score in the red zone.
Yeah,
Patrick's
yeah.
unable to find anybody open. That's something still concerning. Steve, appreciate the 10 bomb, Julian, and we're going to talk about
go.
that because this has to go into the next group of comments we've got. So I'll just go ahead and
Absolutely.
bring these up as well. Jimmy K, I'm going to say.
Sure.
That's how it's pronounced. Okay. Red zone and consistency with Mahomes. That was a big concern right there. We've got another one. There are so many concerns. Probably my number one is Pat just not playing great. Here's another one. Patrick is my most concern. We had 4 guys open. Julian just alluded to that. And I don't know where Mahomes was looking. It seems like he's panicking. His decision-making, his passing accuracy is concerning. Maybe that juice is gone. I don't know. I hope Trey and Noah are okay. Let's move on to this one. JP, my concern is that we can't sack the QB. Everything else is manageable, but the quarters can only cover so long. Oh, and Mahomes' accuracy downfield. He needs to clean that up. Steve, Mahomes' accuracy, Mahomes in general, and the red zone scoring. The red zone offense is where everybody's concern seems to lie. And this goes back to Julian's question. What's wrong with Mahomes? Is he seeing ghosts again? Is he not seeing the field properly? Is he playing with blinders on? What's going on here? A lot of people are concerned about Mahomes.
Well, yeah, and they should be. But I also would like to throw this in there. He is Patrick Mahomes. He is still Patrick Mahomes. It's just getting him back to that form, letting him find that within himself, right? Because I think overall,
Here's another one.
yeah, well, the red zone, by the way, bro.
Yeah,
We'll talk
Mahomes
about
could make
that
better
too.
reads in the run game in the red zone.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We've put Mahomes in a bad position for the last maybe 2 seasons, we could say.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, it really kind of come to a head this season. I think the reason why you've seen the Chiefs struggle so bad this season is our offense turned into Patrick, snap the football and figure something out, bub. Like, we weren't designing any players open, any playmakers open. Nothing was going right. We weren't running the football. And then it was literally just like, hey, Patrick, pull a freaking rabbit out of the hat and let's figure it out. And it made it tough for him. Now, if we could focus on running the football like we did yesterday against the Colts, we do that going forward. And then I think what we have to do as Matt Nagy and Andy Reid is we really have to get back to something that Alex Smith pointed out the other day, Mike, and I mentioned it on the live last night. But he said you have to start designing your playmakers open and having Patrick know who he's going to the ball with. Because every play, Patrick's looking at 5 different reads and trying to do this, trying to do that. And if he's pressing, he's going to keep – it's going to cause sacks. It just is.
Yeah.
Patrick took a couple bad ones yesterday that should not have been sacks. But
Look,
like,
I didn't even know that you had that Alex Smith quote. I never seen that. And I told you yesterday, does it not look like Patrick Mahomes is back there? And I get that he knows everybody's, he knows the routes. He knows where they're supposed to be. That's what a quarterback does. But it feels like he's reading 5, 6, 7 things at once
There's too
rather than
much
just
going on.
simplifying it.
Yes, you have to simplify the game for Patrick and get him back in a rhythm. That's all there is to it. We know how Patrick is. Why overcomplicate the initial play when you can scheme a playmaker open, which we have an abundance in the wide receiver room right now.
Too many.
Scheme one of them open. Hell, they can all run 25 miles an hour. Just scheme somebody open, get them the ball, see what they can do with it. Then also, just that pitch and catch, just those completions, that positive yardage, all that's going to build confidence in Mahomes. And then guess what? Then we can start taking some shots. If he were to start laying it a shot or two, then even more confidence. Then if your play gets busted up, which they will have, that'll happen in the NFL. Even if you try to scheme somebody open, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be there. That's where the backyard football kicks in, and that's where the real Patrick Mahomes starts to shine. But right now, he's trying to do that from the snap, and it's just dumb.
Yeah, even Romo mentioned yesterday his reads, he's coming off his reads a little too quick because he is trying to see all of these wide receivers. It's come into like he didn't have anybody. Now he's got an embarrassment of riches.
Yes.
And it's almost like he's feeling the thing of like, well, if Worthy's not open immediately, Rice has got to be open. Well, if he's not open immediately, Kelsey's got to be open. Brown's got to be open. Somebody's got to be open. So he's getting fast, and he's not even let them run the route properly just yet. And he's already checked down 4 receivers, and he's trying to get out of the box. And, Trey Smith's injured, so Caliendo's getting beat up on a little bit. Maybe they've run a stun on this side and confused Kingsley and Josh Simmons a little bit. So there's a little pocket pressure. And then before you know it, Mahomes starts seeing ghost. And he starts overreacting too quickly.
Absolutely, and that all comes into where the defense can rush 3 or 4 guys and have 7 or 8 back there in coverage and muddy in the waters. And Mahomes has notoriously struggled with that throughout his career. And you saw the defensive coordinator that started all that yesterday.
Yeah,
Anarumo. He started that high cover 2 shell against Patrick Mahomes.
But you know what you seen yesterday that was a little different than what we
we
usually see versus that defensive coordinator.
A lot of single high safeties yesterday.
But that defensive coordinator usually can stifle Mahomes into nothing. But yesterday, because of that run game, Mahomes in the fourth quarter came alive. Yeah. Mahomes in the fourth quarter became a force.
Well, Mike, there were times where we saw 7, 8 people in the box, bro. We hadn't seen that in forever because no one cared.
Right. Look, Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter and in overtime, 11 of 17 passing with 7 first downs for 158 yards. 4 of 5 passing for 58 yards on 3rd or 4th down. He left the pocket twice for 22 yards, picking up a first down, and one of those set up a 2nd and 1. So he got 9 yards on first. And then we seen him just completely laser that 2-point conversion, man. That was just
right. Well,
that
there
put
were
a hole
few
in that
throws,
fella.
And that's kind of the next point I wanted to make to everybody to kind of, get you on the positive side of the Patrick Mahomes thing going on right now, because Patrick Mahomes is 30, right? He's 30 years old, but he's in like peak, to me, physical form. Like it's not that he can't do this stuff or he's gotten older or, this or that, or he's forgot how to play football. Yeah. I mean, if you watch Patrick Mahomes right now, I think this is the best he's ever ran the football as far as making decisions, which he's got away from a little bit in the last couple of games. I'd like to see him get back to taking those opportunities because he does
did that
well
yesterday a few times, and I'll give him credit.
Yeah, he did do it, especially more than he did the previous couple games. But this is the best I've ever seen him run the football. Patrick Mahomes is throwing the ball with such velocity; it's absolutely insane. The guy's literally throwing 90-mile-an-hour fastballs out there with a football. So he's got the physical. The physical attributes to get this done. He could throw the ball a country mile. Granted, sometimes it's too far. We tend to overthrow our 4.2 40 running receivers, which is insane. But it's just getting everything, like I said, getting them some confidence, getting them in a rhythm, and things will start to fall into place, in my opinion. I think with Patrick, you know what we have with him. You also know how bad Patrick can be when he has to press. So if you just, as a coaching staff, alleviate that pressure and make it to where we have another dynamic to our offense besides Patrick Mahomes run around, figure something out, and throw the football, then I think everything will start coming together, dude. I wouldn't worry too much about Patrick.
Right. Let's get back to the super chats here.
Well Turd
Gamers. Love that name. With the Well Turds. Steve, that lady's going to come back on here and say we're crass.
Yeah. Crude. Get it right, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry. Crude.
Some old lady said we were too crude.
We're too
She
crude.
has to watch the boring channels.
Yeah. And that we need to take lessons. Like, I don't want to be boring.
Mike, I hope you called her a slap nut and just went on about your business.
I did. I said, lady, you're boring. That's all I said. Okay, look. Well Turd Gamers 2 Bomb says, I'd like to see Jalen Royals instead of Nico. Look, we've got plenty of options. These are free plays to get the ball in a playmaker's hands that Andy won't do it on offense.
That'd be a great way to get Jalen Royals going in the NFL.
Brashard Smith. We may see a player from the Royals be back there before Jalen Royals.
Yeah.
You may see Salvi back there before you see Royals.
I tell you, a good option, Mike, if you remember Alberto Mondesi.
Oh, yeah, he could fly.
Dude could run. I mean, he was almost Tyreek Hill speed, but he couldn't play baseball. He forgot how to play baseball.
He could fly.
Let's have him returning punts.
Yep. Chiefs 007 with the 5 says Dallas plays strictly zone. Our offense should be roll. Also, in your opinion, what needs to happen for us to make the playoffs? What teams are we watching? It's just a little early. Like you seen yesterday, we went from the 9th seed. We got a big win versus one of the best teams in football, and we fell to a 10th seed.
Right.
It turns out that Gemini AI was right the other day, and the Texans should have won that game.
Right. Well, I think
Or-
that's the teams that
or
you
the
want to
Bills
watch.
should have
though.
won, wasn't it?
Those fringe teams are the ones that you want
Yeah.
to watch. Also, I think any team in the AFC right now, be it the Bills, the Broncos, any of those, just lose. It doesn't matter. You just want them to
Yeah.
lose, right? And then all the Chargers, especially. But then you start looking at the those fringe teams, and you saw one yesterday take an L. The Steelers. You just mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the kind of stuff that we need to happen while the Chiefs are stacking up wins. The Chiefs can't
And
really
who's
afford
back
to
on
lose.
top of the AFC North? Like I called in week 4.
The Ravens.
The Ravens are back there.
Yeah.
So there was never a doubt there. But you need these teams like Pittsburgh. We need to see Jacksonville. It would be nice if Jacksonville could take over the AFC South and knock the Colts into a playoff spot or to
Right.
a wild card spot now. That would be big for us. And they still have to play the Colts twice. So feasibly, if Jacksonville could pick up 2 wins versus the Colts, that would be huge for the Chiefs.
Right, Mike. Well, we could talk about the what ifs till we're blue in the face, but the fact
Yeah.
of the matter is, in my opinion, what needs to happen for
We
us
just
to make
need
the
to win.
playoffs, the Chiefs have to take care of business every week from here on out.
Yep. Jason with his first live.
Let's
with a
go,
2-ball.
baby.
Appreciate you, brother.
That's how you
it-
get in here.
Julian
go.
back with another 10. Appreciate you, Julian. He says, I know this has been talked about before, but I just believe in my heart because of how different it was in 2022. When EB was around, he commanded this offense better, especially in the red zone. Steve, there's always going to be the people that want EB back over Nagy. I released a video the other day based off a Jesse Newell article where he had an in-depth set down with Joe Blameyer, who was our passing game coordinator, and he
Right.
told them exactly how the Chiefs do their offense. I made a short talking and running you through in about 60 seconds. Go watch that. It shows you how the Chiefs play call. And he said, first and foremost, out of his mouth, Andy Reid calls the plays.
Absolutely.
He says, first and foremost, a small thing. And he used the example honeycomb. And what that does is now Matt Nagy hears that in his thing.
He's
took
got
about
this
5 to 10
handful of
seconds.
plays that fall into that.
He's
right?
got that 400 or 500 plays. He goes and finds the section that says honeycomb or wherever it is, and he nails the play and he gets it to Mahomes. Then Mahomes got 15 seconds to relay it. And so all these people that just blame Nagy. And I don't think that's what Julian's doing per se, but he's
No.
saying that EB
He's definitely pointing out a fact.
demanded a little bit better in the red zone. And it could be because EB kept the running game on because he was a former running back. Maybe that's what it was. I think Nagy was a former quarterback, so maybe he teams up with Mahomes a lot more.
The way you just described it could be something as simple as that. Maybe when Andy says certain key word, maybe sometimes in that small package of plays there are runs and passes or RPOs or whatever, and maybe Nagy is straying away from the run. You never know. Possibly. Who knows? But yeah, I think the team was definitely a much better red zone team back in the day. That's no question. And that there's no question that that's a problem right now. We saw it yesterday. We've seen it in the previous weeks. I think that's something that the Chiefs have to clean up, dude.
Yep. Pops in the house.
Oh,
Been a member
Papa.
for 25 months. Pops is probably at work right now, not working, but he is watching Chiefs football because that's what
Let's
he
go.
does.
Let's go.
He says running the ball opened up Rasheed Rice, absolutely, and the wide receivers to get us into easy field goal range to win that game. Yeah, 100%. Look, the Chiefs should have put.
Absolutely.
Dude, I was talking with Destin Adams, who is a Colts beat writer. I'm pretty sure he's a beat writer. He may work for a certain publication. I'm not for sure. I don't want to get it wrong, so I don't want to say nothing wrong. But Destin Adams, Steve, we've done a mock draft with Destin Adams before. We've done the Creators Mock one time on Walk the Mock and done a mock draft with Destin Adams. I called him out a little bit, and I said, look, Destin, you're better than this. He come out yesterday and said that the Chiefs, they get the calls. And it's like, this is becoming just ridiculous. With now you've got legit credentialed sports writers coming out and feeding into this every week.
I'll tell you what, if you watched that game yesterday and you took away the Chiefs getting calls from it, you have blinders on.
That's my point.
Yeah.
And so I called them out. Trey Wingo, who used to be on ESPN, he come out and said the Chiefs dominated that game and the Colts were lucky to be in it. And I said, Wingo's right.
Absolutely.
Destin Adams took a little bit of he took a little bit of offense to that remark, and he tried to say blah 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 this and that. And I'm like, look, they took 9 points off the board minimum for the Chiefs because not only did they take that Jawan Taylor bogus face mask, but Mahomes was driving the ball late and got a face mask and they didn't call it. And as a matter of fact, I've got the daggone image right here. Here's Mahomes right here. when Mahomes was trying to get a face mask call and they wouldn't give it to him. They said Mahomes always making up stuff, trying to get a call. Does he not have him buy the face mask?
That's literally how he tackled him.
If this play could continue, you would see his hand come off and Mahomes' face and entire face rip left. So he definitely had his hand in the face mask. That is a 15-yard penalty, and I don't know why I just put that on the screen, but that's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones was getting away. Look at this. George Karlaftis is being held right here.
All day.
He's got his hands inside of his shoulder pads in the front where the horse collar is. Now, I know you can't call a horse collar in the front, but still, he's holding. He's holding. Charles Omenihu, this is in the end zone. You don't call that a hold? That's 2 points and us getting a punt to get the ball back. There it is from this angle. That's a complete bear hug, Steve, right in front of the official.
Yeah. Insane, bro.
So look, this is what all other teams do. They want to slow down and take screenshots and say that the Chiefs get all the preferential treatment. Well, we can do the same thing. And we say the same things.
And Mike, you might have missed one of the most bogus calls of the entire game. It absolutely sent me through the roof. I forgot about that. Do you remember them calling a blindside block on Kingsley Suamataia and negated like a 20-yard play?
They called a
blindside.
What was that they called?
A blindside block.
It might have been. Well, look,
he was looking at the guy in the eyes and blocked him face to face.
But apparently that is a penalty in the league because this is why. Because he turned around. They were all running in one direction, and he turned and hit. If he would have just turned or just slowed down and gotten his way, they would have let it go. But apparently you cannot turn and make contact. It's a stupid rule, but it's in the rule book. So apparently that was a correct call.
Well, there's a lot of those going on every game.
Listen, I do think, like you just said, like that happens 1,000 times. You don't see it, and especially in that situation. So there was a lot of calls. And look, we're not one to just say this, this, and this, but you cannot look at yesterday's officiating and say that it was swayed in the Chiefs' favor. You just can't do it.
You're a non-football knower if you say that.
Absolutely.
100%. Cobra Kai Ty in the house with 23 months as a member says, "What's up, Chiefs fam? Hope everyone is well. May need a heart transplant after yesterday. Noon is too damn early to hit the wrist."
This is why I don't like noon games. The Chiefs too much. It's too much of a fight. Have you ever seen the meme where it says it shows the Chiefs logo and it shows this much excitement, then it shows this much suffering, and at the very end it says, "Oh, escaped, we won, good job."
Yeah, I'll tell you what the only thing I like about noon games is, Mike, we were able to watch the game together. We were able to do our post-game live stream, and we still went out and did stuff afterwards.
Yeah, well,
like a real people.
Short, so I didn't get to do nothing.
Like real people, dude. What was that about?
Yeah, I will say you get done a lot earlier than if you play up till, like Monday Night Football. If you play
a primetime game, we're up till
4
in the morning.
Yeah, every time. It's crazy.
Yeah, hope you're doing good, by the way, Ty. Good to see you, bub. Well Turd back with the 5 bomb says sweet potato casserole or southern sweet potato pie.
I like a Well Turd throws out a 5 bomb to hear our ideas here on sweet potato casserole or southern sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato casserole, brother, all day.
I think I'm going to go potato casserole too. You got to have a lot of brown sugar in that bad boy.
Mike, I'll be making one for Thanksgiving, which you won't be attending, and it's going to be amazing.
Those marshmallows on top, man. Every once in a while, you can find restaurants that can make a very good sweet potato casserole.
I make the best one. I've only made one in my life, but I promise it was the best one.
You had one attempt and you're just the best ever,
dude. Right off the rip.
What is
I'm a natural.
No shame in his game.
Sam Lofton, been a member for 21 months now, says RPOs equals I'm maybe really pissed off. Yeah,
I'm going to be really pissed off. Yeah, RPO. Sam, good seeing you, brother. I haven't seen you in a little bit. I thought something happened to you. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to have to go down to Florida and check on Sam. RPO, man.
We didn't see as many of those yesterday. We saw one really bad one.
We saw a few more from under center yesterday, and
cost us 7.
RPO just allows too much, in my opinion. Like, there was a time and place for it, but you see a lot of teams getting out of the RPO now because I feel like just by doing a few defensive philosophies and principles, you could stop an RPO now. It's been too easily done. You could stop it with athletes. And at first, it just surprised people. Mm-hmm. So it's like, well, is Mahomes going to run it or is he going to pass it? What are we going to do? But now that they figured out, hey, just keep everybody at home and fire down.
Do you remember at one point in football, the triple option was groundbreaking.
Yeah, at one point the
You
wing
know?
tee was groundbreaking.
Sometimes they run their course, and I think the RPO has ran its course. It's not necessary. Rick Couch with the 5 bombs says, "Hey guys, just came in. How about those Chiefs? Kareem with the machine. Dude." That was the game we needed yesterday, for a couple reasons, right? Because for 3 quarters we got to see exactly what we've watched all year long. We got to see how bad the Chiefs can play football. We've got to see everything go the other team's way, just like it has all season long. But in 1 quarter, I will tell you this, even though we played bad the first 3, we got to see our coach, Andy freaking Reid, stick to a run game, refuse to stray away from it, and watch the fruition of that take place. Like, we got to see what that run game will do for you. Patrick Mahomes, he didn't throw a touchdown pass yesterday. Absolutely insane. You don't really think about that when you watch a Chiefs game, that Patrick Mahomes won't throw for a touchdown pass.
Oh, I felt
he
it
still
yesterday.
had 350 yards of passing yesterday.
Yeah.
Our offense had 500 yards of offense, dude. Yeah, I know you felt it. We know.
I felt it.
Yeah. But it's like, I'm just saying, dude, Mahomes was able to actually move the ball up the field at will at a certain point. Rashee Rice, obviously a catalyst for that, because he was getting the ball and creating 40 yards after the fact. But
see, we had a few comments last night. Appreciate it, Rick. We had a few comments last night, and they thought that we were dogging on the defense, as if we didn't give the defense credit.
The defense didn't look great for at least a half of football.
Yeah, in the first half, the defense was a little sus. I will say that they held their own and they kept them out of the end zone after the first 2 Daniel Jones touchdowns. They definitely did a good job with the running back, Jonathan Taylor. He only chunked off 1 run, but we didn't dog on the defense.
Defense showed up, showed out.
Yes, we actually said the second half they looked really good, and I give them complete credit for the win, especially the 4 straight 3-and-outs we produced. Look at this tweet. Bill Barnwell come out with this, and he said Colts went 3-and-out in their last 4 possessions. He put them on the screen. Look how dominant. A run for -2, incomplete pass. Next drive, incomplete pass, 7-yard completion, incomplete pass, punt. Incomplete pass, 6 yards.
Was Andy
punt.
Reid calling the plays for them?
Yeah, 4 yards, run 5. Yes, it almost felt as if Andy Reid and the other offensive coordinator, Steichen, if Steichen calls the plays, I don't know who calls plays over there, but it felt like they switched and they abandoned Jonathan Taylor in the run game when
Because
it needed it.
we were shutting them down anyway.
Dumbass Daniel Jones, bro. I ain't never. Steve, we said on this show all week, Daniel Jones, if you have to put it in his hands to win a game, that's not what you want to do. You've got a good offensive line, the best in football, and you've got Jonathan Taylor. You need to keep pounding it.
This was my score prediction. But what's that line say right there, Mike?
Yeah. Stop JT, make Jones beat you.
That's the main thing. It's the first thing that went in everybody's head when you talk about
And the
this game.
Colts, what did the Colts do? They played right into our hands of taking the ball out of Jonathan Taylor's hands and putting it in Daniel Jones. That's usually what Andy Reid does. But yesterday, you see Andy Reid commit to the run game and never falter.
Right.
He done what Sean McDermott and the Bills did to us.
Yeah.
And that's why we beat them. It's very easy. Go game to game in the NFL. Watch which coach stays true to the play calling and the game plan the entire game and doesn't waver, and you're going to watch them get a win.
Absolutely. Shout out About Time. Been a member for 20 months. Let's freaking go. It says, horned up, baby. Felt it down in my plums. 20 months, my ass. That's because YouTube sucks. About Time's been around for a long time. But you know what, Mike? He feels it down in his plums.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums, getting all swollen, with a light blue hue to them, fresh and juicy, ready for the picking. Hey, that plum looks good. Can I trade it for your Twinkie? Let the juice spill down my chin. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Let's go, baby. About Time. Appreciate you, man. Real quick, guys. Appreciate you all being here this morning, by the way. A little earlier than usual, so it's good to see everybody. Looks like we got a pretty good little crowd on a Monday morning. Let's go. Hit that like button for us if you haven't yet. Also, subscribe to the channel. If you're not a subscriber, you're missing out on a ton of Chiefs content. Hit that subscribe button. Get in the chat if you haven't yet. Get in there and talk, man. We got a great crew here. Very knowledgeable. Everybody's really welcoming and nice in the chat. You can't have too thin of skin, though. I will tell you that. But either way, get down in the chat. Also, you can join. You could be a member of the ACU crew right here on YouTube. All you got to do is go to join.allchiefedup.com or hit that join button at the top. It's only $4.99 a month. Guys, you can't even buy a bag of chips for $5 anymore. It's $5 a month. It's a subscription. It comes out automatically, and it's 4 times cheaper than that Planet Fitness membership that you're not freaking using anyway, baby.
But you'll use it in January, maybe.
And on top of that, we have a members only live stream coming up. We'll be giving away a signed Noah Gray jersey, so you want to get in on that action. We also have some hats, some ACU hats, and merch that we're going to give away on the next members only live stream. Also, merch.allchiefedup.com. While we're talking about it, got all that good merchandise on there. Nice hats, hoodies, you name it. We have the Merry Chiefsmas stuff, as you can see right here. Be festive, baby. Be the coolest guy at the work party. Be the coolest guy at the family get together with that Merry Chiefsmas shirt. But right now we have our Black Friday deal already going. Free shipping on everything in the store. No minimum purchase, nothing like that. Whatever you got, getting free shipping. And trust me, that's better than a good discount.
Yeah, and it automatically applies. So as soon as you go to checkout, Black Friday is right there. It's going to be right on there. No minimum. You got this hoodie on here. You got that shirt Steve's wearing. That's going to be on there. So yeah, you know who reached out? Ashton Gelati's mother reached out. She said she wants a Chiefsmas shirt. So I said, hey, I'm going to get you one. I said, I'm going to get Ashton a hat. He likes that red hat.
Absolutely.
So Ashton's going to be walking around
Mike,
with those red hats, baby.
We got verbal confirmation Ashton Gelati's coming on our channel next season. Okay.
He said he'll be here next season.
He said he'll be here next season.
We'll
He said his first season he's not doing anything like that. He's just trying to get in, get acclimated, and do what he's got to do, work hard. And next year he's gonna be here. He just
had to get you know what he had to do? He had to get into Zarda and get him a barbecue sandwich. And look, shout out to Zarda too, by the way, for sponsoring this live. Absolutely. Zarda does a lot of work with us now. We love Zarda. They're awesome. If you're watching this right before lunch, head out to Zarda. Get you that $11 lunch deal, baby, till 2 p.m. You can go pick that up. Ashton Gelati's sandwich is out, Steve. That's not it on the screen.
The KC takeaway.
But it's similar to that. The KC takeaway, man. It's delicious. Awesome. It's awesome. They sent it to us. We've tried it. Right. It's incredible.
And shout out, guys, if you want some holiday catering, Zarda's the place to go. You get 10% off. Obviously, you have to have this booked and ready to go by November 30th for your booking.
Yes, you got a few days here.
Dude, Zarda caters the freaking Chiefs, okay? Every camp. Look, so if they're good enough for the Chiefs, they're good enough for you.
Work event, it don't matter. Just get some Zarda. Have it catered.
Let's freaking go. Mike, while we have a break in the action here, I cut you off because I was in the middle of answering a question, but yeah, Patrick Mahomes not throwing a touchdown pass kind of cost you on a parlay, didn't it? How many legs was that parlay? How many did you hit, and what caused you to miss it? Let's hear about that for a second.
A nine leg parlay. And look, it should have hit.
Which is absurd anyway, right? Like, who does a 9-leg parlay? But you hit 8. That's the best part. Go ahead.
This was my theory, because a lot of people want to take these parlays and they want to take these crazy things.
Yeah, make a bunch of money
to get a lot of money. But I come up with a theory, and I'm like, look, what if we just take gimmies and just put together like 9, 10, 12, 15, how many they'll let you get? And just put like a small amount, and it's going to pay out. So it was like $14 was going to pay out like 70 or something. It was insane. I thought it was a gimme. Patrick Mahomes, 1 passing touchdown. No, didn't get it. But you know what else? I actually didn't hit 8 out of 9. I actually only hit 7 out of 9 because I missed another one. The Colts didn't run Jonathan Taylor the entire fourth quarter, and he come up 2 yards short of 60. 60 yards for Jonathan Taylor. When's the last time Jonathan Taylor did get 60 yards in a game? And I know what people are going to say. You're going up against a team that does really good versus RB1s. He should have had 60 yards. They just didn't run the ball ever for the final 15 minutes. He could have got 2 yards, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Listen, here's the story. Here's the moral of the story. Nothing's a gimme.
Nothing's
Gamble
a gimme.
responsibly.
Yeah, Mike, I missed out on a lot of money from a parlay the year that Patrick Mahomes got the flu and we lost to the Broncos when they were ass. Yeah. That one sucked too, man. It just happens. Be careful out there. Well, Turd back with a 5 bomb says, do you think Pierce will be RB2 by the end of the season, or will he get Mitchelled? That's a good question, man. And I don't know if he'll be RB2, especially if Pacheco comes back. I think the bulk of the carries are still going to go Pacheco, Kareem Hunt. But I do think that if he cashes in on any opportunities that Andy gives him, we could see him get involved. Especially, Mike, if there's anything to, like you said, Pacheco might not be re-signing with the Chiefs after this season. We don't know yet. Maybe Pierce gets in there and he's able to prove himself a little bit, and maybe that's the route the Chiefs go going forward. You know, you never know because, I mean, Dameon Pierce cleared waivers. Isaiah Pacheco is going to get a contract offer from somebody. I mean, he's he's won how many Super Bowls now? He's been productive in every season. Now he does have a bit of an injury problem. Yeah. He does have a bit of an injury problem, but that comes along with the territory. If you're going to run as hard as Pacheco, you're going to get banged up. I mean, it just is what it is. But I think that people like guys like that. I mean, you saw the emergence of Cam Skattebo this year. He runs just like that. I mean, he's going to hurt himself. It's just going to happen, but. I think that people like those hard-nosed guys. So
I think the appeal with Pacheco, too, is we don't necessarily use him like this. And I know he's had times where he's done something boneheaded, like turn the wrong way or whatever.
Yep.
But I honestly think you could make Pacheco almost like a third down back with his speed.
Yeah.
And catching
he's
the ball out of the
receiving
backfield.
back. We just don't use him that way. When we first got Pacheco, when we first drafted him, that's what the Chiefs were doing with him in training camp.
I think you've got some value there. So teams could definitely see that. It could almost be like a McKinnon-style situation with a lot of teams. And I think that there will be a market for him. I don't know how big, but there will be.
Yeah. Appreciate the support, Well-Turd Gamer. Let's go. Tiger Atlas or Romastamo with the 5 bomb says, I got here late. Did we get Pierce? Yes, we did. Sir.
Did we say we would get Pierce?
We told you yesterday this was going to happen.
So
we told you 2 weeks ago this was going to happen. We told you in the offseason that they were going to get Dameon Pierce.
You write that down in Sharpie next time. Steve, but would you
Get your
erase
big
all the ones
pencil
we
out.
missed? Erase all the other ones.
Don't talk about any of those. Let's talk about that one. You know, we're batting 1,000 right now, baby. That's all I got to say about it. Let's go. Mike, let's talk about the NFL real quick. There's some stuff going on. Looks like the Giants have fired defensive coordinator Shane Bowen after dropping their record to 2-10 with a loss to the Lions in OT. Then we had the Raiders fire their offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, today.
Yeah.
Let's go. He's out. And the Raiders just firing everybody. But anyway, the Browns, they got a quarterback situation on their hands. Apparently, Stefanski has a decision to make. Should he let Shedeur Sanders start? Because in his debut start, he threw for 100 yards and an interception.
Did he win?
They won. They beat the Raiders.
He
had
to win.
He had such a breakout game beating the Raiders with 100 yards and an interception that apparently there's a quarterback battle going on in wherever it's at, Cleveland.
I think the Giants firing is justified because they did allow the Broncos to score 33 in the fourth quarter and blew that one.
Right.
Jameis Winston was up yesterday. They allowed that comeback and blew that one. So that one's probably justified. Chip Kelly, this is his first season. I don't know. You didn't really give him a lot to work with. It's not like Geno Smith's any good. He don't really have a lot of wide receivers either.
No, I think if Pete Carroll sticks around there for the long haul.
Plus, Brock Bowers has been injured all year. So
a few years from now, you'll start seeing that team start to do what the Broncos are doing now. They might not be 9-2 after 11 weeks, but they're definitely going to start being more competitive. If you have a good coach and you can set a good tone and have a good locker room, create a culture in a place, you see what Andy Reid did with the Chiefs.
Well,
right?
I'm seeing Raiders fans already saying that Pete Carroll should be a one and done.
Hey, that's fine. Let them screw it up. Let them keep them at the bottom of the barrel.
Let them Raiders Raider a little bit.
Absolutely, Mike. Also, we had the Cowboys rally past the Eagles last night and win with a game-winning field goal. But that was kind of fun.
27-20. It couldn't have happened to a better prick Sirianni than right here at Thanksgiving. You know.
Absolutely.
Steve,
and then of course,
going into this game though, that means Dallas come off a big-time emotional. And we did too.
That's a rivalry game.
So a short week here, man, and we both come off some big time emotional matchups. I think both these teams going to be tired.
Absolutely,
They're going to play a little weird, I think.
Mike, well, the defense has kind of been our bread and butter for a couple of years now. They've bailed us out of a lot of games. They've kept us in a lot of games, but I think the defense has to show up. The Cowboys have a good offense. We know
Got to get to Dak.
You got to get to Dak. You got to get them shook. We know the Cowboys have a good offense. They had Javonte Williams running the football who kind of resurged his career this year because, he was good in his rookie season with the Broncos, and then he kind of faded away, and then all of a sudden now he's good again. But they have a good passing game. They do. I mean, I know it's Dak Prescott, but if you have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens to throw to.
Who do you shadow McDuffie on any wide receiver this week?
I think if you do, I think it's CD.
So you would shadow him on Lamb. So we're just going to put Watson on.
I think you have to. Yeah, I think you have to
Pickens and let
trust
it roll.
Jalen Watson to take care of Pickens, and that's tough. That's a tall
That
task.
could
for
be
anybody.
a big time disaster. But
It
you
could
could
be.
also
get
tell
no Williams
Jalen
on the
Watson,
field. Get no Williams out there. Get
Right.
physical.
You could also tell Jalen Watson, look, we're getting late in the year. It's possible if we drop a game, we don't even get to go to the playoffs. You've got to do something to get a big contract extension. This is a
Butt's
big
on the
time
line,
game
sir.
for a Jalen Watson going in the free agency, in my opinion.
Boy, if you want to be a Raven next year, you better have a good game.
You want to be on the Baltimore Ravens and get way too much money?
Right. Well, Mike, obviously we know the Chiefs won an overtime thriller, is what they say. But yeah, we needed that, man. And then the Rams continue to dominate Sunday Night Football, 34-7 over Tampa Bay.
The
Matt
Rams are the best
Stafford,
team in football right now, right?
yeah, Matt Stafford going nuts. Lead guy in the MVP talk right now after last night's game. Matt Stafford is a dog. Let's just say that. This dude's like my age. He's out there still kicking ass, physical, slinging the football around. Great coach out there, too, with Sean McVay. I think he does good things. So the Rams, they are the team to beat right now, in my opinion. I think they're the best team in football. I'm right there with you. The Lions barely escaped the Giants. The Giants had them on the ropes, but they had a 69-yard touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs, who had a career high of 219 rushing yards yesterday. Man, it's amazing what running the football can do for some of these teams, And then obviously the Patriots ended up coming back and beating the Bengals yesterday. So they're continuing their win streak of 9 freaking games with their
So the Bengals cannot.
with their cotton candy soft schedule.
Right. But look, the Bengals cannot be serious about trying to put Joe Burrow out here now. Right.
They're dumb
Their
if they
season
do.
is in the tank. You do
Don't
not
do
put
that.
Teflon.
Look, man, I would like to
Wait,
see
no, wait,
teams that I
Teflon
hate shoot
is-
themselves in the
right.
foot, but I'm all for it. You know what? Go ahead.
You can't put Joe Glass out there for the rest of the season. Can you? Is
He
that his
is
new
Joe
nickname?
Glass.
Joe Glass? It's
Yes.
Joe Glass Burrow. He's Joe Glass. You knock him out, one punch, Mac.
Right. Little Matt gonna knock him out, bub. I'm just saying.
Is that what it does when he falls? He says, dude, I love that. Is Mike Tyson's Punch Out not the best game ever created, maybe?
It was definitely up there.
That's got to be a top 5 video game ever.
It's up there. Mike, there's a couple other key stories from the NFL over the weekend. Jackson Smith and Jigba set a record. Seahawks wide receiver broke the single season receiving yard record for the Seahawks already.
He also has the most vowels next to no consonants. Or maybe that's the other way around. He also set a record on that.
The most consonants next to no vowels.
With no vowels. Good job, Jackson.
Absolutely. And then we got Will Campbell for the Patriots, their offensive tackle. He got injured. He's believed to have suffered an MCL sprain and might be headed to the IR. So that's not a good one for them.
That's good news for the Bills, I guess, if you're a Bills fan.
Yeah, true. And then, of course, tonight you got Carolina Panthers versus the San Francisco 49ers in a crazy exciting Monday night matchup.
Oh my God. It's like watching paint dry. And I mean, there's nothing better than that. Who gives a rat's ass about those two teams?
Nobody. Ain't nobody likes them.
Good night. I'd rather watch the
go.
coaches just get in a boxing match. Like, that'd be more fun,
Who
right?
would win? It's who even is the coach for Carolina?
It
I don't
doesn't
even
matter.
know.
But you don't cheer for a Shanna rat. Never. That's how
Shanna-
you know you got
Hey.
new. That's how you know you got new bandwagon Chiefs fans all the time talking about how we should hire Kyle Shanahan.
No.
Boy, a Shanahan in a Chiefs uniform is like hell. You could ice skate in hell, okay? It ain't happening.
Yeah. He's going to get
Nobody. They don't even
Shanna-
know who Shanahan is. at
He's
this
going to
point.
get
They
his
don't even know the
Shanna rat
name.
ass knocked out, Mike. That's what's
Yeah,
going to
they
happen.
don't even know the
baby.
name Shanahan. That's how new some of these people are.
We can't have it. The legend himself, Ty in the house with the freaking 20 bombs, says some Thanksgiving love for you guys. Please hit the like icon. Is free and easy. Hit that thumbs up, baby. Ty, we appreciate you, man.
Hey, let us
Thanks
know in the
so
chat
much.
right now. Are you guys going to do turkey or ham?
Turkey.
Are you turkey guys or are you ham fellas?
They're better not. If I click over right now, I can't see your comments. If I click over and see a bunch of ham, I'm gonna be mad.
I think you're going to see a lot of ham.
I think turkey haters are ridiculous. Like, to me, turkey
Is it
haters
just
are the,
turkey for Thanksgiving and then ham for
Mike,
Christmas, though?
a lot
That's
of
what
people hate.
do.
A lot of people hate on turkey because it's cool to hate on turkey. So I hold the turkey hating people in the same space as the Chiefs hating people because it's cool to hate the Chiefs.
I bet you. Look, I bet you there's two kinds of turkey. A deep fried turkey that is just spot on and juicy is incredible.
Mike, I put it in the oven last
But
year,
I'm gonna
and I had
tell
the
you-
juiciest turkey I've ever
Right.
made. It was
But
crazy.
I bet you if you went and got I bet you there's some good smoked turkey. And I've
Oh,
never got smoked
yeah.
turkey in KC. I know that Q39 is supposed to have good stuff, and then there's another place supposed to be known for their smoked turkey in KC. And
Zarda's smoking turkeys too.
It might
know?
be Joe's. They always talk about the smoked
Yeah.
turkey at lunch. Like,
Well,
there's a couple
also,
guys.
if you want to spend $50 or $60 on a turkey, you can get a pre-seasoned Popeyes turkey at a Walmart near you.
Walmart.
I saw one. I don't know. It was like
If I'm
$60
paying that
bucks.
much, you're cooking it, and I'm gonna come pick it up.
Bro, that was wild though. Once again, shout out Ty. Put some legendaries in the chat for Ty. I haven't seen him in a while. Make him feel good. Jamie with the 2-bomb says, I would like to see Bossa try edge rusher. Man, I like to see
Who?
Jeffrey Bossa,
Who?
the special teamer.
We ain't never. Look, I just want to see Bossa. Period. Let's
Yeah.
put him on the field a little bit. I will say Drew Tranquil had a hell of a play yesterday,
Drew was playing a good game yesterday.
shooting through the line and taking down Jonathan Taylor there, like late in the game.
Yeah, him and
So
Chris
look,
Jones
I
both.
think he's eventually going to be a Drew Tranquil replacement here, but Tranquil played pretty well yesterday.
He had a good game. This is his best game of the season, I think, because Tranquil had been struggling.
At least versus the run, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was there.
Yeah, Jamie, that's an idea. Also, we always like when they put Leo up on the line. They've been doing that a lot, but they've been putting Leo at defensive tackle. Have you
Yeah.
noticed that? Pretty
Yeah,
wild.
he's just kind of been standing up.
I would also like to see, of course, a lot of times he drops back into coverage or he's spying, but I would love to see him on the edge more too. Anything to create pressure, whatever we got to do. I think he can try some stuff out. I mean, Spags will keep Jamari Connor on the
we've gotta
football
get-
field for 12 weeks when
I
he's
still think-
100% passed
Yeah.
on.
I still think at the end of the day, look, a lot of people were like, we got to go get a running back. We got to do this. We got to do that. We seen yesterday that Kareem Hunt was effective. When given that, like, I do know he had to take 30 carries to get over the 100-yard mark. He shouldn't have to do that. But essentially, I think that was because Trey Smith went out early. I think he had hit 100 yards way earlier if Trey Smith would have stayed in. So I still was in the camp that I don't think running back was ever our number one priority. It was always pass rusher. We need pass rush.
And why did we blank on it?
On what? Pass rush?
Yeah, why did we blank on that? Nothing happened before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
That's wild. I don't know. I don't understand, but they need to figure something out. Our boy Ron in the house. Let's go, baby. With a 5-bomb. Says Pickens got hurt in the 4th. He may not be a factor because after the game, he was seen with his leg wrapped. I haven't seen anything about that. That's
I haven't
interesting,
either.
Ron.
And what's funny is I just glanced down and seen the part that said leg wrapped. I thought we were talking about turkey legs again.
Mike,
I'm already
are you ready
thinking
for
about
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving.
dinner? Let me type in Pickens injury here on old Google.
That's what you're
see
going to do. You're just
pops
going to write
up.
Pickens injury.
Yeah, that's what I did. You know, that's the in-depth reporting and analysis that we do here is we'll Google it real quick for you.
Google 2 words.
Let's
job.
see. We got a injury update here. George Pickens injury update. What happened to the Cowboys star in week 12? What's the latest? Let's see. Did they tell us anything?
No, he hurt his toenail.
Says trailing by 21, the Cowboys had scored 21 straight unanswered points to tie it up. However, in the 4th quarter, one of the key architects of their comeback, George Pickens, seems to have suffered a massive injury. Okay, let's see. What did he do? Even in this game, his contribution, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we know he's good. We got it. Unfortunately, banging his knee against the ferocious Eagles defensive line, he came away hobbled from the play. Immediately after he went to the sideline, did not return to the field for the remainder of the drive. Soon after, the broadcast detailed that he was suffering from cramps in his calf that kept him out the next Cowboys possession as well. Ultimately, though, he was able to get back on the field for what would turn out to be a game-winning drive for his squad. So, if he was playing the last drive of the game, then I fully expect him to play in this game.
What great in-depth reporting you had right there, too. That is it a cramp? No. he banged his knee on the defensive line. So he just went down the defensive line kneeing people? Like, what are we doing? You didn't have a specific play in mind where he
Mike,
hit
I
his
would tell
knee,
you
like,
who wrote the article if I could even say the person's name.
Jeez. I don't care.
Priyanshu Chodhary. Chodhary. Harry Chode wrote that article, brother. That's
Okay,
wild.
Well, nobody cares. And yeah, I don't think he's going to be a thing. Everybody plays against the Chiefs. If George Pickens missed this game, it'd surprise me.
But I think what Ron's pointing out, though, is he might not be at 100%.
He might be limited a little bit. It's possible.
Yeah.
Maybe you kick him in the shin a few times. I don't know.
Well, Turd Gamers with the 5 says, can we see Brashard on a swing screen, please? Let's go. We've seen a couple of those. We've seen him do well on a couple of those. But I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't matter how good of a play that Brashard Smith gets. The refs will call it back, and they will make something up every freaking time.
I don't know if we've actually seen him on a swing screen, though.
I don't think so. Maybe.
But he's got the ball a few times. But yeah, yesterday he got a nice play called back. Was that the Kingsley Sumatai
that was the
one?
stupid block that was perfectly legal. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what that rule book says, son. I've seen that over and over and over again.
I like how you just don't like the rules, so it's like not.
That's the craziest thing, though. I don't like. That's my thing. If it's a rule, it's a rule. But like, if we never call it, then why do we call it there?
They always do that.
That's crazy.
The Chiefs will get like
we're not gonna call it the other 700 times it happened in the game, but when there's a big play.
Yeah. Hey,
Bring it
Chiefs
back.
get all the calls.
Bring it back.
You know, that is true. We do get all the calls. We get all the calls from 1940 that hasn't been called since then. and they'll do anything to take points off the board.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Mike, I got to look right here. We got a battle going. I should have made a poll. But we got a ham, both brisket, smoked turkey, turkey, chicken. Ron went chicken. Ron, are you eating chicken for Thanksgiving? Close enough to turkey. We'll give them a turkey. All right. Somebody said both. Both. Everybody's eating both. Rick says ham. Turkey tastes like nothing, says Melinda. That's a lie. Don't season your turkey.
You gotta season that thing.
Kurt says that turkey haters are donkey fans. Yeah.
That might be true, man.
Roma Stamo says he's just going to get some Zarda for Thanksgiving.
Hey, can we point out? We forgot to point out my favorite comment of the day last night on questions, comments, concerns.
Ooh, let's do it.
Here we go. Shane Herder. He said 3 points is not a massive win, guys. I said it was a massive win for the team that needed it, not the point differential. Speaking of massive, though, that big ass head just slapped nut.
Look at that thing.
Hey, look. This is why YouTube don't like us, is because we call their users slap nuts and say they have big heads.
Bring that back up for a second.
Dude, I'm going to tell you something right now.
Let's
Peanut over here.
Let's talk about that Grande Cabeza. Let's go. What
This
is
dude
that
looks
thing?
like dude looks like the bride of Frankenstein.
Heed. Do you remember I Married an Axe Murderer? And he's gonna cry himself to sleep tonight on his massive pillow.
Can you imagine how unintelligent you have to be for me to say the Chiefs get a massive win this week versus the Colts, and you try to come at me and say 3 points isn't massive? Like, do you not know what an adjective is?
I'll tell you what.
There's more slap nuts. America has to do something about their educational system.
Yeah, dude, something's got to happen because everybody is educated. You said it's stupid.
Educational system.
See, they have some work to do. Obviously,
They got to do something about the education system because
educational,
these dudes out here
educational system needs to be better.
with a freaking head that big, you're telling me he don't know what an adjective is? This dude's got such a massive cranium. He ought to have been able to see the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got the entire dictionary memorized up there, that giant head. And he's going to come at me and say that a massive win? Bro.
With his mega mind looking ass head.
I hope
Let's
he has
go.
a dry turkey for Thanksgiving. I hope it's so dry.
He doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving
I
because
hope he takes a bite.
it's a bad holiday, Mike.
Look, I hope he
the
takes a bite
pilgrims
of
were
turkey.
bad.
Yeah, I hope he takes a bite of turkey and he opens his mouth and baby powder comes out. That's how dry it is.
Hey, Janae says, forget that slap nut. Forget about him.
What an
Forget
idiot.
about
Look,
him.
was he a Colts fan? A Broncos fan? Like, we still got Broncos fans over here on every video.
I have no idea.
Like, they've won 2 games in a decade.
What? Our chat has gone off the chain, brother.
Really?
We got
I
this
like
dude
it, though.
there. There's a dog stuck in the sewer.
What?
There's a dog in a sewer. It's stuck.
Oh, no. Somebody help.
God.
Who is this guy? Why is he telling us about the sewer dog?
I don't know. I've seen him around before, though. That's wild. Sam called him Modog. He said that was Modog in that picture, baby. Let's go.
What are we doing? Hey, it's much more. It's fun to be happy on a Monday. Having a good victory Monday. We could usually be like, the past few weeks, we've been a little depressed on Mondays. Yeah. We had depression Mondays.
The Chiefs messing with our mental health, you know?
Hey, but we're fine this week. We get a few days.
All right, guys, we appreciate y'all being here today. It's been a fun one. It's been a good one, but we got to get running. Do us a favor, hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. It just takes a second. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. Hit that bell, get some notifications. That way you can come hang out with us more often. You guys that were your first time seeing it live, loved having you in here today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're
we
back.
didn't bore you to death.
Yeah, hope we didn't bore you. You can also go to join.allchiefteup.com, become a member, get a chance to win a Noah Gray signed jersey coming up here soon. We hope you guys have a good week. We're going to have much more content out for you. We'll have a podcast release tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that bad boy. And, yeah, go buy yourself a shirt at merch.allchiefteup.com. Shout out Zarda and DraftKings for sponsoring today's live stream. We'll see you next time. Go Chiefs, baby. The 6-5 Chiefs, baby. Let's go.
Oh, my God, I hate this guy.
Wow.